Hey guys, it's Kate, and I hope you're having a fantastic day today. I am here with a third video in my series, and I am working with some ink and my bamboo dip pen and also some watercolor and just playing with some marks on paper today. So I hope you stick around. Maybe this can be a relaxing video for you today, or you can follow along with me or use some of these ideas in your own projects. But I want to do these videos really just to experiment more and have some of these little, I don't know, just short videos where you can just kind of see what I've been working on in the past week or two. And it's not really something that would be a standalone video, but maybe just something that could give you some inspiration for projects of your own or exercises that you can do or just ways to practice with some of the supplies that you have on hand. So I'm sitting here doing my voiceover as I fill in this blank sketchbook page with my bamboo pen. And I had kind of started off with that flower, and I just wanted to do some relaxing doodles, and so I decided to just keep going and fill in that whole entire page with different marks and blobs and swirls and lines and shapes. And it was so much fun to just kind of relax and just let the marks happen on the page. And I didn't have any plan for this. I didn't have really any goals except just to enjoy the process. And that's so important, especially when you're getting to know new materials and just trying to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And I know I talk about that a lot in my videos, but it really is true. You just challenge yourself more or just relax and see where it takes you without having any expectations. And sometimes you can surprise yourself, and sometimes you can discover something that you really enjoy doing that you never knew that you would. And that's one of the things that's so awesome about experimenting with art. And it's so freeing to let go of expectations and just explore the medium. You can definitely discover the new techniques and styles and stuff, but it's just really something that can be therapeutic also. And I talk a lot about mindfulness in my videos and, just kind of keeping track of things that you can get, just really focused on the moment that you're in and doing the art that you're working on or playing with, I guess I should say, because it should be a joyful process. And it can also really help be a stress reducer. One of the most exciting parts of my day is to come home and just relax with something, either a pen and paper or some paint, or in this case, a dip pen and just a simple bottle of ink. And I was entertained and having fun for probably, I don't know, maybe at least an hour with this. And I really liked how it came out. I mean, it's nothing special, it's just doodles on a page, but it's something that wasn't there before and something that just came out of my imagination, and it was so much fun to do. And those are some of the best times that I have with art. In this video today, I'm working with my dip pen in the first one, and then I'm also going to dip into my watercolor for the next two. I usually try to do 3 different projects in each one of these videos, and we'll kind of see if that continues. But one thing that you can definitely see from this page is my love of round shapes. I have scallops on there and dots and circles and bubbles and even swirly shapes. And it really kind of reinforces itself when I'm just sort of absent-mindedly doodling. I'm still really embracing the round shapes, although I did do some here that I don't normally do in the paintings that I post on YouTube. So though it's kind of nice to have this reference that I'm building up in the sketchbook that I can kind of go through and find inspiration. Where I have my paper kind of turned around right now, where it's sitting is sort of that top middle part where it's almost like swirly scallops and it's closest to the rings. And I really liked how that mark looked. And so in a different painting or drawing that I do, I might explore that some more and just see how it goes. And then the shapes that I'm working on right now and just kind of making those thick borders with some thinner lines kind of lining the middle. I really like that texture. It almost reminds me of like river rock or something like that. And I have had something sort of similar to that in other paintings. And it really helps to kind of see how your sketches evolve or whatever it is you're doing. If you're painting, how your painting evolves. And even from the beginning of my channel back in, gosh, my first video was July of 2023. So it's been just about a year and a half at the time of this posting that I started my channel, and it has been one heck of a journey. There's been a lot of different changes and different things that I've tried, and I've loved so many different things. And I think one of the biggest challenges I have is kind of settling into my favorite because it's so hard to choose what I really like to do the most. I love watercolor and I, I also love acrylic paint. And now, well, I went ahead and bought a gouache set. So now I'm falling in love with gouache, and it's hard to choose what is my favorite. I just kind of grab whatever I'm feeling like doing that day. But I really like that too because I'm just sort of exploring all the mediums at once. And I really have been enjoying trying to blend them more. And, I have like my mixed media canvases and stuff, and I love watercolor. And something that I haven't done enough of is kind of blend that with other types of paint and collage and mark making and stuff like that. So that's definitely going to be a focus of mine. I guess one thing that would be really awesome is if, you know, in this journey somewhere, I find a way to kind of mesh everything together somehow into the perfect blend of all the different mediums. And that would be just the best because then I wouldn't have to choose. But I don't know. I don't know if I can do that or not. We'll have to see. And part of this experimenting might bring us there. You never know. I think one of the nice things about watercolor is how wispy it is and how it's so blendy, especially when you're working wet in wet, which a lot of my watercolor paintings tend to have those very wet, blendy backgrounds, and even the inks that I've been doing lately are very blendy and wet. And then kind of contrasting that with a second layer that has hard edges and very defined edges. And so you can even see that here where I've broken out the Mozart Kohlrabi palette that I have. And I started off with a pretty loose background. And now I'm going in and adding those extra marks with my brush. And I'm also, in some ways, incorporating a little bit of those lines and round shapes into this piece as well. And so I really loved how this one came out, and it gave me an opportunity to use my gold paint that I don't use enough. So this one was a lot of fun to do too. So I kind of kept a similar-ish palette for the second watercolor, although this one I wanted to break out the Neo colors, which are the water-soluble crayons, and these are the Neo colors 2, which are the water-soluble ones. I actually don't have the ones, but the 2s I enjoy, and I hardly ever take them out. So I wanted to make sure to use them this time. And I decided to blend my watercolor with my spray. And I'm going to draw right in the wet paint with some of those crayons. And I also grabbed some ink for this. Now, this one, I had a little bit of a challenge with my ink drops. when I was kind of putting them in, I really wanted to make some sort of white circular shapes in the darker areas on, I think it might have been my second coat, but I don't remember while I'm watching this back right now. I'm even doing alcohol actually. So I really kind of threw everything in this one. But I love mixing those sort of bright colors with the blue background. And the ink that I end up adding, I didn't really like how that blended on the page, but I tried to kind of fix that by adding some more color, and it actually worked out pretty well. So first I'm going in with the white crayon, then I dip into this white liquid watercolor, and the liquid watercolor white was where it kind of threw me a little bit. It's not quite as opaque as the acrylic ink white. And so then I went in with a metallic acrylic ink, and it just kind of took over a little bit. And now I'm going back in and trying to bring those circles back in again. And I kind of liked how this came out at the end, but it wasn't what I intended. But it's another one of those experiments where you're building up your knowledge of your supplies, and I'm still exploring those inks that I got. So I'm going back over it after it dries, mostly dry, with my pen. And then I go back over it with pencil because my pen just decided to stop working. So these circles were really giving me a hard time today, but the project as a whole was a lot of fun to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. Maybe it gave you some ideas on some marks you can make or things you can explore with at home with your supplies. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep creating.